The way to win is as old as time. Do the right thing and put in the fucking work. There's just nothing else. By the way, there's nothing else in anything. How do I become a professional hockey player? Talent and effort. How do I become a tremendous top 1% lawyer? Talent and effort. How do I become a phenomenal mother? Talent and effort. It's talent and effort. And what I love about effort and why I love hustle, and now that it's become so cliche, you see me saying the word work a little bit more now because I just want people to get it. It's controllable. You know how many people here want to be a millionaire? Do you know how rare that is? Have you run the math? You have this enormous audacity, yet you're not putting in the work to get you there because you think somehow you've been tricked by yourself or somebody else that there's some system. Like, really? We're at a place now where kids think it's cool if somebody goes and takes money out of a bank and puts it on their fucking bed and takes a picture of it? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? You know what really sucks? It sucks when you buy a $20,000 Rolex and the world collapses and you have no money and your Rolex is worth $4,000. That sucks. That's why I always say I'm a tortoise in a hare's costume. You know zero people that have built something big that haven't put in a ridiculous amount of work. And the bigger it is, the more they've worked. So I think you have to execute against your truth. People can smell things. So many of you have your mouth way ahead of your actions. Really? You're gonna own an island and you fucking go to Coachella? Fuck you. When it comes from a true place, you win, and when it doesn't, you don't. Like, I wasn't born 6'7" and can run like a cheetah. I could wish I was something, or I can realize I am something and try to maximize on that. It's a game of poker. You get a hand. Nobody's gonna cry for you about your hand. Nobody's gonna say, oh, it's terrible that you're not fast or tall or gorgeous or can sing. It is what it is, and now the only thing that can happen is you can figure out how to navigate it. The second you stop dwelling, and the second you start doing, everything changes. They don't give a fuck. Right. The second you understand that, and just start trying to make shit happen with that energy, you win. Nobody cares about my problems. Nobody has ever cared about my problems. My problems seem far less silly now. I got problems. I don't want to be here on a Saturday when my family's not here. I got problems. But guess what? I made my bed. I'm making my choices. I got my reality. Every single person here has shit. All of you. You all have shit. Do the white dudes have it better? Yes. Guess what? They still have shit. Everybody's got shit. And nobody cares about your shit. They care about their shit because everybody's got shit. So nobody cares about your fucking complaining. Go fucking do something, and that's it. Like, what? You think somebody's gonna come along and be like, oh, we're so sorry. They don't care.
I'm here for a reason.
You got it. That's it. All right. Just real quick, where is it? By not worrying about what other people think, it allows you to do things. By doing things, you either win or you learn from your loss, and it creates speed. It's the absolute mental difference between the people that are executing and winning versus the people that aren't. It's the fear of others.
I mean, every day. I mean, since, for 20 years. I mean, it's an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Now, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive, right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed. It's a good separation for me, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training or during games, I switch my mind to something else. Switch my mode into something else, right? For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus, Decimus Meridius, and Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time. right? So that was my mental switch. It was like an actor getting ready for a film. You got to put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. And then when you leave there, it's something completely different. But when I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you know, you got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself. It's not about you, man. Like, oh, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Like, get over yourself.
That's where you go.
Get over yourself, right? Like you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. High school, year before, we played 35 games, max, right? Week in between, spaced out, plenty of time to rest. In the NBA, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs. So you look at the shot, every shot was online. Every shot was online, but every shot was short, right? I got to get stronger. I got to train differently. The weight training program that I'm doing, I got to tailor it for an 82-game season so that when the playoffs come around, my legs are stronger and that ball gets there. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. That was it. Done.
Were there some names that you looked at and says, these 3 guys are as crazy as I am?
At the time, I deal with what I refer to as Goat Mountain. I went to Goat Mountain and I talked to Magic, Michael, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Bill Russell. You know, so I would talk to them. What did you do? What were your experiences? Michael in particular, he's become my big brother. He's been my big brother since I first came in the league. And what was that process like? So I went to them and started understanding the ins and outs of the game and, you know, how they approach things and their level of detail and obsessiveness. And that's what I did. The players that had that passion but weren't willing to commit their entire lives to doing that, right? It's a choice, right? You have other things. You have family. You have all these other things that you have to do. The game can't really be your #1 priority. And so I was looking at that like, man, this is going to be fun.
If I'm buddies with you from high school, if I'm a cousin of yours, what happened to our relationship? How did that gravitate when you went into the league and you're determined to become the greatest, or you're determined to become one of the greatest? What happens to our relationship?
Oh, it suffers.
It does suffer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you understood that. You were okay with that.
Yeah. And the people that love you, like friends and family, like they know that about you.
Got it.
So they let you be you. And when you reconvene, you know, you pick back up where you left off. But make no mistake about it, everything in between is lost, right? So those long-term relationships, the commitment of time of, you know.
You have to do whatever you need to do to get bigger than life. I'm talking about you need to do the things every day. You need to do the things every day. Not think it. I didn't get rich thinking, okay? I love the book Think and Grow Rich because it said, hey man, think. But I've never been the smartest guy. So where I can't beat you in grades, I can beat you in work. What are you doing every day with your time? How are you spending your time? I hear people say, I don't have enough time. Every time I want something done, I look for the person that's busiest and give the task to them. Busy people make time. I hear people talk about, I'm comfortable where I am. You're selfish, man. People that are comfortable are selfish people. You have to put your primary focus on income and literally disregard everything else. Disregard everything else. The main thing has to be, I need income. I need new connections. I need new money. I need new customers. I need new attention. I need to be uncomfortable. It's work. Every disappointment you've had in your life, every one of them is the result of you not making a sale. It's the result of you not accomplishing some task. You were a little kid and you wanted candy. Hey, Mama, I want some candy. Mama said what? No, we don't have time. And the little kid locks that in. You got your parents telling you to be reasonable, not have high expectations, set reasonable goals. You got managers in companies telling people that's unachievable, to think smaller, just hit your little baby targets. You got broke people telling you that money won't make you happy. How many heard that before? Every time you ever hear that, understand you're talking to somebody that is broke. Rich people do not say money doesn't make you happy. You need big dreams, folks, okay? You need big dreams, and they start with monetary, okay? They start with money. This is something you can measure. You don't need therapy. You need to take action, okay? You will get well, but you won't get well in a chair. You're gonna get well on the battlefield. You gotta go out into the marketplace, man. The healing is in the doing. It's not in the thinking.